I love the jacket.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I guess you didn't follow our dress code. Our very strict dress code.
All right, hold on. Is Squan not good enough for you?
That'll play. It's Casual Friday. We'll play Casual Friday.
Casual Friday. I could put a jacket on.
You really don't have to.
Okay. I'm not going.
All right. I mean, Austin. All right, we'll start this. Austin, I think that you're very excited to do a fan rant today. You texted us last night. You texted me. I think you tweeted at Nick that you want in on our pod. I assume you texted me this intoxicated, if I'm not mistaken.
Very, very much so. The Giants, they make me drink to no avail. It's been tough.
So what you texted me was, I want in on your pod, got my Giants notes in all caps. You then said front and center. And then you said also, don't ignore me. I love you. So I think we're off to a good start. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say.
Oh, man.
So not a podcast. I'm pretty offended. We're not a podcast. We're a YouTube show. So put some respect on our name.
Yeah.
You guys meet up with Dobrik yet?
What? Oh yeah, he's on the next show.
Yeah, we got a long line of guests waiting to come on. We were able to pencil you in, so.
Yeah, we rushed you on.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. All right, let's start with my rant. I actually wrote some notes. Probably took about 2 minutes because of how disastrous this team is. O-line's a disaster. Andrew Thomas, I think, had a 45% pass success rate.
43.
Pass block. Yeah, miserable. Horrible. And for your blind side, what is Daniel Jones supposed to do? Parrott's good. He needs to develop, but, you got to get him in. Cam Fleming's not going to be on the team next year. Put him at right tackle. Give him some burn. We drafted a guy, Shane Lemieux. I don't know. Put him in guard. See what he's got. Zeitler's probably going to be gone too. Hopefully we trade him for, some kind of draft capital because that's kind of what we need at this point. Our secondary, our defense actually don't have a lot of complaints about other than the lack of a pass rush. They were okay yesterday because the Eagles' offensive line is atrocious because they're all injured. I'm pretty sure 4 out of their 5 linemen outside of Kelsey is out.
And Lane Johnson went down too.
Mm-hmm.
And who?
Lane Johnson went down too. He was in and out of the game.
That's right. Bradbury's just an absolute animal. So I'm very happy with that signing. I think he has 3 picks, and I think he's like the top-rated corner in the NFL right now.
I was going to say, he's going to get Pro Bowl consideration.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Potentially all-pro consideration if he keeps it up.
Yeah.
But you don't have that second corner on the other side that they just pick on. They pick on Ballantyne. They pick on whatever the guy's name is, Ryan Lewis. I don't know. They're just picking up these corners and just hoping something sticks. I know Xavier McKinney would help if they had like a cover safety there. Jabril Peppers can't cover. Mm-hmm. Xavier McKinney probably comes back week 8.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, Jabril's the one that's supposed to just kind of help you guys out when, your corners are failing. But I just don't think that he's up to par. Clearly he's one of the best athletes there is. I think like 2 weeks ago, he did a cartwheel and a backflip. And I was like, that's just crazy. Like, that's awesome that you're a great athlete, but like, you need to cover someone.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's terrible. I don't understand. The guy's got like 4.3 speed, 4.4 speed, whatever. Guy can't cover. You got to know he's running a wheel route in that situation. I don't know.
Crazy.
And Carson Wentz made a great throw.
The guy's what, 5'6"? And he caught it over like wild.
Dude, Jabril Peppers has won 6 games at MetLife Stadium in his lifetime. 4 of them are New Jersey high school state championships, and 2 are against the Washington football team. So wow. I don't know what to make of that. Adam Ricefield, shout out, texted me that this morning. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wild.
And
once that I thought was dope, and just kind of going off topic, was Daniel Jones ripping 21.23 miles an hour, which is on par with Tyreek Hill's fastest speed this season. So,
did you see why he said he fell? He said he was going too fast.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a quote.
He was looking over his shoulder left and right, thinking a D-back's going to come and punch the ball out. So, understandable, hey, you know what? He's taking care of the ball in that sense. We scored on the drive. It's funny. We got the touchdown on drive, so it's not a big deal. If we didn't score and we got a field goal, then yeah, it'd be like, all right, that's kind of annoying. But
it's hilarious that he fell, and it's like without a doubt one of the funniest things this season. And I think that it's indicative of what the Giants are this year. But that game was not on him. I thought Danny actually played really well.
No, what was off to the way it was covered. First of all, hand up, I was also a little intoxicated last night. First thought after Danny Dimes fumbled was, Danny ain't it. I amended that like 5 minutes later because I was like tweeting irrationally. I do stand by send Evan Engram to the sun. Slept on that one. That's still my number one agenda. But I was really pissed off. The Daily News headline today was bad trip with the picture of him on the ground. You would have thought that lost them the game and they didn't score on that drive. Like, yeah, like Austin just said, it would have been brutal had we lost that game by 1 and we only got a field goal there instead of a touchdown. We fucking scored on that drive. So, like, who cares about that? But
if anything, you wasted
everyone loves to laugh at the Giants about stupid shit like that when that's not what lost us the game. Put Evan Ingram's dumbass on the cover of the Daily News.
Oh, yeah, it should have been a punt about a drop. I mean, that's what lost the game. They could have closed it out right there. I mean, look, I think that people have been saying the word potential out Evan Engram now for 3 years? He got drafted, I think, 3 years ago, right? Like, something's got to accumulate by this point. Like, it has been too long of him either not being healthy or just not performing at the elite level that he's supposed to. And it's got to end at some point. You know, whether it's trading him by the deadline or, I don't know, moving him in the
Sending him to the sun. Sending him to the sun is my number one.
Oh,
a statistic I saw was he has the most drops since 2017, and he hasn't played for, I think, an entire season, 16 games or something like that.
He barely plays. He still has the time to lead the league in drops. It's remarkable.
It's wild. Insane.
How close do you think Danny Dimes is to being, like, the franchise quarterback that he's supposed to be? Do you think, like, he's getting there?
I think so. I mean, the guy has flashes. You can't argue that he has flashes, and, he shows the accuracy and, can the decision-making be better? Yes. Not all of it's his fault, though. The interception he had was off of Evan Ingram's hands. I know it's a tight window.
Was that seriously Ingram, too, on that pick? It was.
Yeah.
Not the best throw, but, yeah, like, fucking again with this guy.
Yeah.
Wild. And then the fumble, I get it. You got 29 seconds and no timeouts, and you got to drive 30-something yards. Like, you got to make a play. You got to hope that a receiver can get open downfield. That's what he's looking for. He gets sacked there, the game's over anyway. So at that point, what the fumble is?
Yeah, the fumble at the end of the game, turnovers at a game like that where you're driving in the fourth quarter with no timeouts, it's going to end in a turnover, or it's going to end in 4 downs, or you're going to succeed. You know what I mean? Like, so that the turnover at the end, it's the turnovers throughout the rest of the game that are like really.
Right, exactly. I mean, he has his flashes, yes. Am I completely sold on him? No, but am I ready to give up on him? No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I mean, you got to give him something around. Darius Slayton's great. He's not a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 2. Sterling Shepard, Daniel Jones statistically plays better when Shep's on the field. And I like Shep. He also can't stay healthy, though. So that's an issue.
He's a possession guy, too, though. As talented as Shep is, there's no – his name gets tossed around a lot now because he's a free agent next year. Allen Robinson would be, like, the perfect guy for that offense. If you threw Allen Robinson, Slayton, and Shep, get Saquon back and get a tight end that actually can catch, or just like Caden Smith play, that's a lot. But I think the thing that makes it tough to evaluate Danny is that clearly turnovers are his problem, fumbles and decision-making, like you said. I said on the first episode that it seems like every game he plays well but has one back-breaking interception or fumble or something. But it's hard because how much of it do I put on him when he's scrambling for his life every single play of the game? Like, it's 2 years in a row now where the offensive line is terrible. So I can't evaluate him. I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, I'm done with him, even though I drunk tweeted that last night. But I also can't say he's making strides when I don't know how much of it is on him versus the offensive line. I just don't.
And the thing is, he's not really a scrambling quarterback. Like, that was never like something that was like coming out about him, like coming out of the draft. Like that, he was a pocket passer who's supposed to be like the second coming of Eli Manning. Like he's not supposed to be somebody that scrambles. Going on 80-yard runs is like not his agenda, as quarterback. So, I mean, putting him in a situation where he always has to scramble, like you said, Nick, is not a fair evaluation.
And he's a good athlete, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think he ran like a 4.8 at the combine, which is pretty good for a quarterback. You've seen him. It's not his strong suit.
He looks like a first-year analyst at Deloitte, and he's just ripping off runs like of 80 yards. Like, the run itself was honestly really impressive. It sucks that he tripped at the end because that's classic. But the dude is a crazy athlete. I honestly think he needs to scramble more, just as long as he slides, because sometimes he'll take some hits that make me nervous. But I think with this offensive line, I think he needs to, and the fact that, like you said, Austin, he doesn't really have weapons where he can just throw it up to them. I think he needs to create a little bit more with his feet and maybe take some more of those risks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And I will say that, real quick, Jason Garrett, I think, called a pretty decent game yesterday. I normally don't give him much credit for anything, but there were some plays. I know there was one play that I saw, I think, Bill Barnwell or whoever that guy who does the reviews of the game. There was one play where it was like a Wayne Gallman handoff, and he was supposed to pitch the Golden Tate where he had like the end around, and it was basically a foregone touchdown, but the offensive line couldn't hold like the run block long enough for Wayne Gallman to be able to lateral it back. Mm-hmm. And like just like little things like that it's just execution, and you're not going to win games in that way. So
speaking of Wayne Gallman, it pisses me off to no end that he got time and Devontae Freeman got hurt, because I started Devontae Freeman in 2 leagues and he had a stupid ankle injury and got me less than 1 point. So I would like to say I'm upset officially,
because our offensive line is just so bad that there's.
I didn't even see him get hurt. Did I just totally miss that? It was just like it was like the third quarter and he just like hadn't played in like.
Mm-hmm.
I bet Deion Lewis coming in, getting 1 touch and fumbling the ball. That kind of sucked.
Imagine if they got points out of that. The guy missed the field goal, right?
Yeah, we did look out there. We did.
But that's another thing where it's like you could have gotten 3 points on your way, and instead you give them a chance to get 3 points. You know, you can't win by making those kind of costly mistakes.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they've got hit by the injury bug. That's very true. But I just feel like the Giants are always so close to being like a mediocre team that like can actually like give you hope, and then they just rip it away every single time. Like it is like there's a different fire every game. Like last night it was Evan Engram's drop, but like other days it's the defense, other days Danny Dimes turnovers, other days it's the line, and other games it's everything. So like I feel like they are so close. Like they're not like the Jets where they're an absolute like dumpster fire, like everything is wrong. Like Giants are close to being a real team. It's just like they have so many little spots that just aren't right. And it's just like, where do you start?
They're also such a young team. I mean, basically everywhere they're incredibly young. And that's going to happen. Like, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have those kinds of things. One prime example was on the punt where they were pretending to go for it. Then the punt team rushed on. And then Riley Dixon had a wide open Corey Ballantyne there was nobody on that side, and he was the gunner. Could have just been an easy completion. Ballantyne wasn't looking for the ball, so they ended up punting instead of it just being like an easy – 30 yards, because Philly was scrambling to get their punch on. And just little things like that where, it comes to experience and it comes to execution. And when you're a young team, you're not going to capitalize on those things.
Who was the corner that got beat when Carson Wentz threw the 60 yards? It was Lewis, but I don't know the Giants as well as you guys do. Like, who was that? Is he like a backup, or is he just like some guy? Is he your second corner?
He was picked up on the street. I mean, the whole DeAndre Baker thing, like not having that second corner is brutal. Sam Beal backed out, but he hasn't shown anything anyway. Darnay Holmes was injured, didn't play. He's a slot guy anyway. He's like 5'8", although I think he could play outside, maybe later on in his career. But we're just picking up guys and hoping they stick, and it's terrible because Bradbury kind of has an island on one side, and then the other side is just getting completely exposed.
I mean, that was a bad beat. Like, that was a bad beat. I mean, that was 60 yards and set him up. So, I guess you got to start at the second corner spot when you talk about, improving this team. Maybe, like, do you think that there's, like, they should go for it at the deadline? Like, either are they selling or are they buying because they're in the NFC East?
I'm selling.
You're selling?
I'm selling, and the reason behind this is, can you make the playoffs potentially with 6-10? I mean, the way the NFC East is looking, but, like, what are you going to do in the playoffs? You're going to get a playoff game, and you're going to get you're not – when you play Seattle, you're going to get blown out. You play Green Bay, you're going to get blown out. You play any of these teams that are actual like contenders, and you saw what happened with San Francisco with Nick Mullins, nonetheless, not even Garoppolo. And you're not going to compete. So at this point, I'm selling, trying to get as much draft capital as possible. They have a decent amount of cap space because they're still not paying a quarterback. They're not paying I don't know who they're paying at this point. Solder. Yeah. So they have all this cap space. It's like, get the second corner opposite of Bradbury. You have Blake Martinez, which I like at middle linebacker. So you get that second corner. You have Jabril, I think, for another year. Hopefully he can do something because of the fifth-year option. And you just drafted Xavier McKinney, who, if he stays healthy, you don't know what you're going to get, but you have to assume he's going to be pretty good.
I think McKinney's really good.
The ball, you need a number one receiver, whether you're going to get one in the draft, whether it's the dude from Minnesota, I can't remember his name, or I'm a big Jamar Chase guy just because he absolutely lit up everybody at LSU last year. So, we'll see. But also you need to fix the offensive line too. So, I know we keep putting our draft capital into the offense, but nothing's sticking. And I think Gettleman's gone. I like Judge. I want Judge to stay, but Gettleman should also be sent to the sun.
Well, yeah, the thing with Gettleman, and I think that's why it's like it's tough to say like, oh, let's sell right now because like, okay, cool, you got a bunch of draft picks, you sold your team. Who's drafting? Dave Gettleman. Do you know what I mean? Like, so at what point is it like you sell all these draft picks? Gettleman's probably going to want to stay to make those draft picks, but then it's up to the owners and all, and then Joe Judge. So it's like I just feel like you're in a tough situation when you don't have the GM and the coach. I think in sync, it becomes really, really tough.
That is the thing. Gettleman gets to know how he knows his job is on the line. I'm sure maybe he will just go for it. I don't know. But, I mean, realistically, they should be sellers. I'm not of the belief that they should be tanking and losing every game because I feel like at a certain point you need to, build some momentum, learn how to win in these close games. And I'm just so sick of rooting for the tank because this would be the 4th year in a row I'm doing that. And, I just don't care. I was rooting for the tank last year, and we still fucked it up. We could have had Chase Young on this team, and we don't because we had to beat Washington in overtime last year in Week 15. So, I'm not rooting for the tank, but, I also don't want them to go and trade draft capital to add to this team because Austin's right. What's the best case scenario? Even if we did somehow win the division, we're going to get our doors blown off by whoever we play in that 4 or 5 games. So I'm going to root for the Giants to win games, but I don't want them to add at the deadline unless it's something that makes sense long term.
You don't believe that you don't believe in the theory of if you get into the playoffs, it's anyone's game?
No, not in football.
Didn't Seattle win a playoff game going 7-9 one year and winning the division?
That's what this jersey is. 7-9. We with Hasselbeck and Marshawn Lynch. That was the Beastquake year. They beat the Saints.
Can you win a playoff game? Yeah. Can you win it all? No.
Because I'm pretty sure we got blown out the next game, absolutely embarrassed.
And even if you get to the Super Bowl, which isn't even fathomable, Mahomes is going to light you up. Lamar Jackson, it doesn't matter. You're done. There's no chance.
Yeah, Magic run. Yeah. At some point,
you want to win 6 games out of the year, and it's all in your division. Washington's kind of like a whatever. You want to beat the Eagles because you just hate Philly, and you want to beat Dallas because you really hate Dallas. Those are the 2, 4 games, whatever, that you want to win every year. I don't care if I go, 4-12. If it's beating the Eagles twice and beating the Cowboys twice, great, But, seeing those heartbreak losses, especially to those teams, just makes it that much worse.
Those are pride wins. And nothing else.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, Austin, is there anything else? Nick, do you have anything else?
Ugh.
Shit.
I think
to the sun.
That's it. Evan Engram, the crazy thing about Evan Engram, and I think this is if they were to deal Evan Engram, he's going to go to a team and he's going to thrive. And it's going to be the hardest thing to say.
Oh, it's going to hurt. But you guys got to do it. It's like how the Yankees had to trade Sonny Gray. It's you knew it wasn't working there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the Giants have the same atmosphere as the Yankees, obviously, but sometimes it just doesn't – it's not working. The chemistry's not there.
That's it. And also put in this perspective, and this is kind of my last note, is, don't give up on Daniel Jones yet kind of thing is, think about Eli Manning behind that offensive line. At least Daniel Jones can get out of the pocket and move and do something. Imagine if Eli was back there. He'd be sacking himself 6 times a game.
It would be, yeah. You guys did the right thing to move on from Eli, but I think at some point that was obvious.
Oh, no, I'm just saying in general, any kind of pocket passer quarterback would not do well there.
I think Daniel Jones is doing better than the Daniel Jones we thought was coming out of the draft in this situation. You know what I mean? The Daniel Jones that we thought was coming out of the draft, you thought got to be a pocket passer. We got to put weapons around him and build the line. He's doing much better being able to scramble and run around than I think most people would have anticipated. I think Daniel Jones is just getting better. I think he's your guy for the future for right now until you see otherwise.
I agree. Give him a number.
Give him a number 1.
Number 1.
All right, well, Austin, thanks for coming on and being fan angry.
We're really doing that?
Oh, I said it.
You can say it. I'm not going to.
I'll say it.
Okay.
If you recorded last night while I was heavily intoxicated, I would have just ranted to no end. But now that I guess I cleared my thoughts, I'm sorry that it wasn't the angry fan rant that you probably wanted.
No, it was more constructive.
We got to start live streaming on Instagram while we're drunk.
That'll go 100% right.
They'd hate us.
Yeah.
It'll go horribly wrong. But
so many mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Austin. Appreciate it. Go Seahawks.
It's been fun. I'll catch you guys later, all right?
All right.
Peace, man.
Bye.